Yes.
And research has shown that when women are involved in negotiations, there's a likelihood or a higher tendency to actually achieve, resolutions without as much conflict. So there's special and unique strengths that women bring to the table, and we should confidently bring that alongside the men, because it's a society that has men and women.
Let's talk about the economic challenges now of being a woman in this present day, especially for those of us who are into business. How easy has it been to establish and to eventually become well known and to take your business to the next level? I think I'm directing that question to you, Udo.
Well, my original background is in law. I've been a lawyer for about 25 years. At no point was the fact that I was a female a factor, certainly not at the law school, where, I happened to be the top female law student. Now, when I think back to that, to 25 years ago, I wonder why they had a specific, it was actually the British government, had a specific award for the top female students. Obviously, it's been an advantage because it gave me an opportunity to advance my career, essentially. However, I've never really had any restrictions or constraints in the professional setting, because I do believe that women can also thrive in the corporate setting if they're excellent, if they're diligent. And I also don't buy into the narrative where we say we have to work twice as hard. It's a mindset.
I hear that a lot. The women have to work twice
I don't
as hard.
believe, I think that we need to gain more emotional intelligence. Work as hard as the guys, be excellent, be diligent, be at the top of our game, and then learn how to engage in both the corporate and the political setting. Because guys don't work twice as hard. They're great, they do the work, but they know there are other things that need to be done.
Exactly.
And we need to figure out how to do those things as well.
Yes, I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and she said, she climbing the corporate ladder, she had to get, she had to do everything else except go into the locker room with guys, because you will have a conversation in the boardroom, and at the end of the day, the guys go out, there's a break, but you come back, a decision has been made.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So do we,
Precisely.
do we also need to adopt,
Go into the locker room.
Well, not going to the locker room. No, everything else apart from the locker room. Do you think we need to, because for men it's easier. I mean, after work you can hang out, have drinks, and then you talk about what happened in the office. You could, that's where decisions are made.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you
have
just
to rush home to take care of the home front.
Exactly. So we are disadvantaged. So
Yeah.
my question is, can we have it all? Can we have it all?
I do believe we can have as much as we want, as much as we're willing to pay the price for. However, we're not trying to have all that the men have, because we have to recognize in our society that there are certain limitations, there are certain constraints that women have. And in a sense, maybe we shouldn't even look at them as constraints. I think women need to recognize at different seasons in their lives that there are various things you can have. So if you're still in your childbearing age, where you're still raising kids, say in primary school, it may be difficult for you to go to the house, for example, for you to get involved in the public sector. But at a certain age, it's easier to do that. So I think it's possible for women to have as much as they want and over a season. We need to recognize some of the limitations that we have naturally. We have the family to take care of, and we also have to balance it with work.
So do you think you have it all?
I don't think we have it all. I'm just going to say thank you to the men, at least. In the legal profession, at least in the judiciary in Lagos, we've thrived. We've excelled in the judiciary. I mean, we've had female CJs back to back, and that's something to be proud of. We don't have it all. We still have those constraints. The men still go in the locker room to do the final decision. We're out there making all the noise. I say go to political rallies and you see only women, heads of women. Go to the voting points, you see all women there. And who are we voting for? The men. Things need to change.
Are you still very confident? Still sitting comfortably here?
Well,
we have strong women on the panel today, and they're really attacking the issues, right?
Well, I think that, the thing is I think as a man, it's important to understand that the emotion is not directed personally at you, because I certainly cannot stand for all men. But I think there's a lot of validity in what both ladies are saying. I mean, in reality, it's very difficult at this time, in this day, in this age, to in any way try to limit the ambition or the opportunity for an individual person or woman. But at the same time, I think everybody's got to find the balance between their personal ambition and their home life, which is just a reality whether you're male or female. Because if you lose sight of either, you end up in trouble. You know, I think that's the safest line for me to toe.
You have more experience because you spoke about your wife just before we started, and you said you had to. You
really
had
get that plug in. Happy Women's Day.
You had to mention it. So are you giving her the opportunity to grow? Are you giving her the
definitely.
opportunity to chase her?
Well, nothing to. No, yeah, you have to. I think it's impossible to even. I mean, you know, we're guys, so we try to be prescriptive. You know, but at the end of the day, nobody's ever going to do anything. I found in my working life that the people that really, a lot of the people I've worked with that really get things done are women. It's just, I don't know whether that's not everybody's experience, but it's my experience. No, it is definitely. And a lot of capacity, a lot of very articulate, very intelligent. And there's something that Udo said, and I think with the younger generation, a lot of them are working together. I mean, I know all those organizations she mentioned, and I have relationships with many of them, but there are also younger ones. You know, She Leads Africa, Purple, Tech Her. There are a lot of these organizations where there's a lot of positive conversation about practical actions and solutions. And I think that's really, really important. Because like you said, you could end up every year having like Groundhog Day, the same conversation, oh, why are we not here, why are we not there? But when you run into people who've actually doing things to move the situation forward and enabling people to get access to opportunity and to dream about being the next Amina Mohammed or to dream about being the next Chimamanda or the next whoever. I think there's a lot of female leaders in Nigeria already. I mean, we have millions of them across the creative arts, across literature,
and we have some
business. We have two sitting right here.
Three, actually.
Three.
That's the kind of confidence that we need.
But it's true.
Yeah, and it's really been lovely talking to three of you, Udo, Obi, and Toke. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to toss it over to Amaokwe now in Abuja for more on this conversation. She has the audience there who would like to ask questions about today's theme that will be coming up right after the break.
The Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, under which the NAWEF, that is the National Women Empowerment Fund, was born. This program is a micro credit scheme whereby women and men, especially boys and girls, that are either in enterprise or trade or want to start, are given micro loans of between 10,000 to 100,000 to either scale up what they are doing or to start doing something instead of sitting, especially women in the rural areas. These loans are given to people interest-free, no interest, and you don't need any collateral to collect this loan. So what I did was I told Mr. President, I said, Mr. President, if you give us small loans, especially for the grassroots people, without any interest, without any collateral required, that you will help us more than giving us money to go and spend. And he agreed. And that was why he said, okay, under this social investment program, we'll make provision for small loans to be given to Nigerians. And then out of this Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program money, the JIP fund, every 3 months, 1.6 billion is taken out and kept aside for women only. 1.6 billion, not million, billion. 1.6 billion is taken out every 3 months and set aside out of the JIP money. So you will enjoy from the JIP money. You will enjoy from the JIP money, which is about 40 billion a year. And then every 3 months, you'll get 1.6, only exclusive.